ship, it just starts going down. I love how in Dragon Ball DAIMA it has been one thing after another with these spaceships. Like, one thing, they cannot catch a break with these things. And so, Goku and Nahare, aka the Supreme Kai, they're rocking here, and then boom, you see Goku's like, oh, and bam, lands right into the Supreme Kai, and then the bag comes towards them, and boom, smothers them both. So, it's rocking all crazy, and it's mentioned that they're losing altitude, and I love that you even get like the sea sick motion, basically with Hibiscus, because he's like, oh, I'm going to puke, and the really cool design here. We see how the machine, basically the spaceship, is completely in danger. It's pinpointing where the ship is failing, and from here, you know, this is where Glorio is able to mention that the ship is definitely failing indeed from the engine, and you see Vegeta and Piccolo, they're all flying around. Man, you know, it'd be cool if they just burst out of that thing and then quickly fly everybody to safety, but they don't want to destroy the ship, so it puts them in a really bad situation. And Son Goku, he of course can only use his instantaneous movement when he can sense ki, but everybody that he knows is already inside the ship. So yeah, this ship goes down quickly, and Neva right here. So Neva, he's just there basically, if we land in the ocean, we'll be Karakin food. Karakins being obviously those sea creatures that we see that's field all over the demon realm, basically. And here's Pansy, she's saying, everybody hold on. And so I love the animation here for the speed and everything, how quickly it goes down, and it ends up going through these clouds, and we start seeing that they're gonna land on this planet, and there you see like it's a forest area, and you can see Pansy, she is completely terrified, and boom, they land. Oh man, so you gotta give props to this Zandamari ship, man. The Zandamari ship is certainly well made to survive a crash like that, so I thought that's pretty cool to notice, and everything. Hibiscus looks like he's in smash everybody, and he thought they were going to be dead. So everybody comes on out of the ship here, and we see this glorious looking backgrounds. Man, I cannot say enough how awesome these backgrounds in Dragon Ball DAIMA look. And from here you start seeing, man, I love the colors, the blues, the purples, the turquoise. My gosh, it is just awesome. The greens, everything. And they're trying to find out this place, and it quickly looks like they're not so much in a forest areas. This looks more like grass than plants, and everyone's just wandering, and even this thing ends up taking Goku and it pushes him all the way into the sky, and he's looking, and you see the background there, and he's like, whoa, look at this place, and he sees back there, you know, the towns and everything, the civilization, how it looks. It's cool. It's like there's mountains, and then they kind of form into trees, and Goku's just in awe, a complete awe of this whole thing, and he starts sliding down this thing, which I thought was going to be like a dinosaur or something, but this is actually some sort of big long weave and weed, and Goku's just flying through it, and I love the first perspective shot that we got there. That was really awesome to see, and he goes ahead and he lands on the ground here, and I love Goku's expression. Ah! Boom! Oh man, that was pretty cool. And so from here, what we end up getting is we see him looking off basically into the distance, and like I said, we're getting a lot of cool lights and everything. The place is looking really awesome, amazing background. I'm hoping that honestly this is a place that maybe gets added as a fighting battleground in Sparking Zero. I mean, it'd be cool to see this in the game. And from here, Pansy reveals that the Karakin ate all their tools, so there's not much to work with here, and this is where Bulma, aka Bulma, says, well, hey, I got this Hopa capsule, and talks about her dad invented it, and below it, you know, hits it on the ground, and there it is. It's a toolbox, and Pansy is amazing that they can shrink things down and make them portable, and so she grabs her wrench, and you know what, I should mention this too, how cool would it be to have that type of technology in our world? But I just feel like that's one of those things that's impossible. You can't take matter, a big giant giant house or dome and just compress it into something that's pocket size and then remake it back as big. Like, that's just not possible. You can't change matter like that, right? So, or break those atoms down and everything. So it'd be cool to have technology like that. But that's one of the things I always have thought has been very cool about the world of Dragon Ball. And then from there, we have our fighters, basically Vegeta making the, Vegeta goes ahead and basically says, you know, why don't we fighters just go ahead to the first demon realm? And from there, this is where Nahare, he mentions that mortals cannot pass through. And Vegeta's like, oh, I see. So, you know, obviously he realized they are stuck here. And then we get a shot of Neva, and he's like, this can't be. And he's like, we need to hurry and repair the plane and get out of here, because once again, my gosh, amazing background, man. This is just phenomenal, beautiful, because he says this is the planet of Mega, and the planet of Mega apparently is inhabited by giants named Megath, basically. And he mentions how it's the second most terrifying planet in the demon realm. And even he says that Gomah and his Zandamari are even afraid to approach here. And I really hope that this, because I've got some stuff to say about this episode, I really hope that this episode, this is going to play a larger role later on, so that way we can understand that this is meant for something, obviously, here, and not just, as many fans have been calling this episode, filler. So he mentions how seriously it is bad being on here, and Goku's like, no big deal, we'll just take care of it. And Glorio's got the right idea here, because he's like, regardless of which, we need to probably hurry. And so, and yes, that's the exact dialogue you see that they put in the subtitles. Panzy tells Hibiscus, come over here and be a stepping stool for me. Quite a way to word things there. And he's like, what? And so there he is. He has become the stepping stool, and he's like, it's hurting his pants. The first demon realm looks like the palace of Dr. Arensu, and this is looking really cool. So Dr. Arensu, she sees that the Zandamari guys are all running and realize something must have happened, and she receives a phone call, and it's from Glorio, just letting her know that they've attained the second Dragon Ball. And from here, making sure that it's understood, he's like, yeah, you don't hear Dr. Arensu's dialogue, you hear his dialogue. And he's like, yes, understood. And he's like, yes, I'll be careful of Gomah's activities and stuff. And then, you know, he hangs up, she hangs up, and there you can see Dr. Arensu basically just looking very devious. And I love this shot. The artwork, fantastic. I love this shot. Everything about it, like I said in the last episode when I was looking at the preview, I love Dr. Arensu's design. I love her character. Obviously, I think out of all the antagonists that have been introduced 13 episodes in, easily Dr. Arensu has been the best antagonist in Dragon Ball DAIMA. And yeah, essentially she has all three Dragon Balls. So yeah, she certainly has outsmarted Gomah because she's got Glorio working for her. So very interesting how this progresses in the story. And we get a good shot of her lips basically as she's smiling, because yeah, she's on cloud 9. And on top of that, she's got Majin Buu, who is proven to be very formidable by easily defeating Tamagami 1. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what more is to come with Dr. Arensu. And so back in the ship, we've got Panzy, and she's going ahead, and Bulma, aka Bulma, they're basically bonding. And I was waiting for this. I wanted to see how these two characters would bond, given that they're both technical geniuses. You know, as Bulma's asking, is she good with machines? And she's like, yeah, Panzy's like, yeah, she likes modifying and stuff and everything. So it's good that they have two technical geniuses that can work on this stuff here. And it's through here, this dialogue, that we learn that the machines are made of these glowing rocks called Majita, I think is how you say it. Basically like that. And from what Panzy said, it powers everything, and it's vital for staying in the air. So this is basically where Bulma's like, yeah, this type of stuff doesn't exist on Earth. And while they're doing this, they're both just standing on Hibiscus, who is struggling. The struggle is real for Hibiscus. And basically she wondered the amazing rocks must be valuable, and basically Pansy tells Bulma that they are, and basically on what she says here, according to the subs, but the top of the second demon world, so the bottom of the third demon world, is all made of Majate. I'm probably butchering this name. I think it's Magilite, I think is how you say that. And then acid, they say the attic water seeps from the third demon world, which reacts and makes it continually shine like there's a sun. Depending on the water composition, the color changes too. Of course, she says this is the first time she's ever seen it in the sky. So I thought that was pretty good, and that's kind of actually the reason why I got the subtitle versions, because writing all this stuff down, trying to remember this and get this out in a quick timely fashion for these reviews week to week, I was like, let me try the subtitles versions, because then that way I could just read along with the subtitles instead of trying to remember what was being said here. And so therefore, from here, yeah, this was pretty funny. So Hibiscus says, I can't hold on, and as soon as he says that, they both just jump down and they free him. And so as Hibiscus walks away, this is where Pansy says that you can get all the Magilite you like, and that the Gomah controls every, and yeah, no, Bulma wants her, can you get it all the ones that you like? And she says no, the Gomah basically controls it. And we get Son Goku basically eating this fruit, just doesn't even care what consequences it might be to eat some fruit from another world. Goku just digs in. So he basically mentioned, Pansy's mentioning how this is basically very valuable mineral in the third demon realm, and taking any, it's punishable by death. Yikes. But we've seen how cruel Gomah can be, so right, we can't be too surprised, especially going back to those early episodes of Dragon Ball DAIMA. And this is where Bulma, aka Bulma, says that she sees that she'll have to go ahead and get some of that. And basically Pansy says once they're done, she'll ask her dad, and says even if not, they're easy to steal from someone. So there you go. Pansy loves living on the fast life, given that she just said that stealing this is punishable by death, or just even having it. Once again, more gorgeous looking backgrounds that we get here, and Goku, he has gone to town on this fruit that he found, and then we get our first signs of trouble, ladies and gentlemen, as we see this red light, obviously being a some sort of creature. All right, so as I mentioned, going back to like the black water mist from Dragon Ball Z's filler Garlic Jr. Saga, that's exactly what these creatures reminded me of. Is Son Goku's, he's basically chowing down and throwing this thing. Yeah, it looks like an apple, a giant-sized apple, which is definitely good for Goku's appetite. So he throws it over, and we see some teeth, some nose, some eyes, and there you see that face looking creepy as heck. Goku sends Son Goku flying back. You know, and stuff like that. Terrible Masako Nozawa impersonation there. But shout out, she is definitely a goat of voice acting. And there you see Goku, he's thrown back to where his friends are, and he's like, what the heck is this thing? And there you see, what's funny is when the thing opens its mouth, it does the whole what was that like? Yes, the which was that funny laughter that Takela, who was also based on like a little old rat or something, or mouse, was doing that hilarious laugh in the Japanese version of Dragon Ball Super, which used to always crack me up. And so here Neva reveals that this thing is a hamster, and Goku's like, it's huge, and there you go. The thing tries to take a chunk out of Son Goku, and Goku barely gets out of the way, and this thing is ready to eat him and is chasing after him and stuff like that. And obviously Piccolo, he's like, what are you doing? Just go ahead and defeat it. And boom, Goku's like, that would be too cruel and everything, because they don't want to harm the creature. Like, is the creature really doing anything? After all, they're in their territory, you know. It's like that movie The Gray, right, where basically, hey, they ended up in the wolves territory, so you know, can you blame the wolves going after them? And I love Piccolo, because Piccolo always, it seems in Dragon Ball DAIMA, he likes to open his mouth to Son Goku and tell him, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? And then he finds himself realizing that, yeah, it's a lot easier said than done. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how the voice actor Nassim Bellicor is gonna go ahead and pull this off with the English dub, which actually just dropped today on Crunchyroll. So basically, these creatures, man, all these hamsters, they just start coming flying, and there you see Piccolo's like, oh, this is bad. Oh, but Piccolo, weren't you just talking stuff? Piccolo, weren't you just talking about stuff to just defeat them? And so there you go. These creatures are coming right after me. And man, dude, I'm being honest. I wouldn't want that many type of hamsters coming at me if they were regular size, let alone giant size, right? And so from here, I like Nahare, aka the East Kaioshin, aka the Supreme guy. He's like, it's an army of hamsters! Oh, so these hamsters thing, they just start coming around at our fighters, and they're jumping all over the air, and Goku, he goes ahead and tosses one of them, and then these things are basically coming right at him, and they jump, about 4 of them, and boom, they done smothered Goku. And what's gonna happen here? What's Goku gonna react? He's got these 4 fur balls going at him. He starts laughing, you know, doing that, start crying, talking about how it tickles. Only Son Goku in battle, but Vegeta, our boy Vegeta's like, boom, doesn't play with that, bam, punch you in the draw. There will be, Vegeta apparently has no problem with animal cruelty, but hey, he's gonna have to, they gotta defend themselves, right? And boom, uppercut to that, and then Vegeta comes with this thing, boom, kick to the jaw there, send that thing flying, and then boom, Vegeta basically gets out of the way, and he's like, bam, punch in the face, kick in the gut, and then kicking this one over here. Vegeta does not have time for cute cuddly things. That's what we're seeing here. So Vegeta starts taking the ki blast, and he's just like, I'll blast you all to hell, and throws it out. He didn't say that, but obviously that's something that Vegeta would say. So he throws a ki blast, and then boom, knocks all these fur balls away. Vegeta, 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 right? That's why we like him, because hey, Vegeta, at the end of the day, he ain't gonna play, right? And these things are like, they're trying to get their arms and stuff in the air, and they go ahead and eventually pop right back up, and they're ready. And Vegeta's like, they're so resilient. So yeah, obviously these things can take a beating and keep on ticking. And boom, they're quick too, because already they've decided to try and overwhelm Vegeta. And I like my man Glorio. He's like, F this, takes his pistol out, pew, pew, he just starts shooting at these things. And Piccolo's like, boom, boom, you know, starts shooting some ki blasts at these things. And he's like, hey, are those repairs done yet? And from there, you've got Bulma and Panzy, and they are basically still just trying to work it out. And man, they're not seeing exactly everything that is going on here and stuff like that. Man, so you're seeing all this stuff with them trying to fix it and everything. And what ends up happening from here, we end up getting, we get there, Hibiscus and Neva are both hiding away from these things. I love Nahare. He's like, I'm not tasty. And boom, this thing almost got him. And I love the way when he almost gets right, he's like, oh. So this is some great comedy, man. And then this big thing starts coming out, and Goku, he's already struggling with one of these hamsters, and the big giant thing makes a foot, and it's like, what is this? And all the hamsters, this has caught their attention, and they run and skedaddle as if they've seen some sort of bigger creature. And that's where we're reminded that this is a giant place, and they start going all into the giant grass here, and Goku's like, wait, where are they going? And Piccolo's like, oh, go ahead and check it out. So he flies up into the sky, and once again, you got a great look of the scenery, the background, once again, just looking absolutely phenomenal right there. I'm really loving it and all that stuff. So that's really cool. And from here, the next thing that we end up getting that's really awesome is that we see this giant creature, and he basically lands his foot on the ground, and